It was another win, another 3 points for Rangers, but unlike the Dundee and Malmo games, it wasn't another good performance. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Rangers may have won, but are the fans going to be happy? That I'm not too sure. Getting the victory, closing the gap is one thing, but putting in a poor performance is another, and I think this performance will be a bit of a worry. Philippe Clement can downplay it down to tiredness or the fact that Rangers wrongfully had a penalty given against them. I don't believe in any of that. I think Rangers today, simply put, were not good enough and we're lucky to actually get over the line against a, let's be honest, not very impressive Hibs side. So, look, winning's all that matters, but you would want your team to win in more convincing style than this.
Absolutely. Clement talked about how players didn't get enough sleep. Oh, it was the earliest possible game we have played. 12 o'clock kickoff. I get that, right? But I mean, let's be honest. 12:30, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Does it really matter, man? I mean, it wasn't like we had to travel up to Ross County. We were at home. We were at IBROX. Shut it, Clement.
Yeah, I think Clement wanted a couple of extra hours sleep for his players, but look, they got the win. That's really what matters, but let's see what the fans then thought of that win. I can't imagine they'll be too happy, but we'll see. First up, we've got, by the way, guys, you can follow us on Fog Football on Twitter. Make sure you go and do it. Babu Cool says, 3 vital points. Our defence looks solid again today. Another clean sheet, some important blocks, a great penalty save from Jack Butland. I mean, was it a great penalty save for Jack Butland, or was it really an awful penalty for Kukarevcic?
It was probably an awful penalty. But, here, 4 clean sheets on the bounce. I think if you are to take positives for Rangers, it is the fact that they haven't conceded a goal in 4 games.
Yeah, Todd Ferguson said didn't exactly set the header on fire, but it's 3 points and job done. Some wee player Barron is too, covers some amount of ground, big future ahead of the lad for club and country. I agree with that. I think Barron will be forcing himself into the Scotland setup sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. I think he believe he did get called up to the last one.
Yeah, but I mean, instead of seeing guys like Kenny McLean constantly in there, can we no get Banner in?
Well, some people will just boo him. Aberdeen fans hate him, and I'm sure Celtic fans will boo him as well.
Yeah, Nath at Specs RSC says, don't play like that second half ever again. Cheers, few. I mean, it wasn't a great second half performance. It really wasn't. I thought Rangers were very poor. And Hibs, I mean, despite not even being great, Hibs were in control for most of that second half. Looked like for large periods, if anyone was going to score, it would only be them. So yeah, Rangers, I think, do need to improve. That second half was not great. NS says they're the wins that win you the league. 3 points, on we go. I mean, I get that, but in this context, I don't know if this win's going to win Rangers the league.
I mean, obviously, winning a game that you probably should have drawn, if we're being honest, man, weren't really doing much. Man, I get it. You need to win these games, but when you're 5 points behind, I feel like when you're 5 points behind, you need to be winning games and winning games comfortably to build momentum.
I think if you're 5 points in front and you perform like that, then you can make a case. I see, we weren't at our best today, but still, that's the kind of performance and win that gets you over the line.
Yeah.
But see, when you're trailing and pretty much everyone's already written you off for the league, I mean, it's like, I don't think hanging on to a 1-0 win against Hibernian is really that impressive. I don't think that's what I would describe as winning you the league, but it is what it is. Stevie B says, horrible second half, completely lost the midfield with Dowell coming on. Yeah, for me, I don't think Kieran Dowell is Rangers quality. It was a strange signing when they initially brought him in. I didn't really know what Michael Beale was doing. I still don't know what Clement's doing by playing him. I'm just not convinced that Kieran Dowell is a Rangers player.
He's not.
He's one of those players that I would have shipped on in the summer.
And it's not, people think, Kieran Dowell, 33-year-old midfielder. He's like 26. He's not even old. So what's the excuse? There's no excuses for him for me. He's simply no good enough.
And you know what? He's probably on a decent wee bit of wages as well.
Of course he will be.
So for me...
I remember when we signed him, I was like, 24th of May, 2023, this guy's alright. No.
Hey, Declan says 3 points at least. SpongeBob there. I mean, he's
a sigh of relief,
he's wiping all that sweat off his sponge there. Or is it more like water? I don't really know.
Well, they're always in water on SpongeBob.
That's true. Jester says, ending the weekend even further from the champions. We welcome the chase. Bookmark this, you smelly bastards. Bit sad, isn't it, really? I mean, coming on Rangers full time just to...
Jester, mate, you should be worrying about Aberdeen, because they're going to win the league.
Ending the weekend even further from the champions.
Well, they are.
Are they technically though? Because coming into today they were 8 points behind. They're only 5 now. So, I mean, if he wants to,
goal difference, my friend.
The jail says, "Thank goodness we got that 3 points, but we have to be more clinical." Clinical? It's not like Rangers had a shitload of chances.
It's not like Malmo where they literally could have won but 6-7-0.
Yeah, Dessers should have scored that header, right? I totally get that, but I mean, it's not like Rangers only won this game 1-0 because they were very wasteful going forward, or Bursic made a lot of good saves. I mean, Rangers really second half created absolutely nothing. So, very disappointing. Salmon's Pizzeria says, Pizzeria, that's the one.
Pizzeria?
Very.
Have a wee Connor Salmon's Pizzeria?
Salmon's Pizzeria.
That's the one.
Very important to get those games over the line, but surely Clement will need to address that second half performance. Well, he just blamed it on tiredness, really, didn't he? So,
which he does, he deflects blame. Accept it, man.
Accept it, mate. Olilande Ulawakawoke Olamide says, "You guys can't even score 2 goals." Alright, fair enough. Steely says, "Result, but no entertainment. I take it, I guess. It was a poor game. Important 3 points. Let's beat Leon," says Fiend Rangers. Sports Royal, "This is the result all fans want." Is it really? Clinging on to a 1-0 against Hibernian, is that really?
Nah, that's a wee troll account.
Is that what all the fans want?
Spam account.
William Armour says 3 points and a clean sheet will do for me.
Yeah, you can take positives at it, but see after the Malmo game, it's like, oh, we can beat Leon. See after that game, oh, Leon. You see what I mean?
Yeah, premium horse racing tips. You'd have to be concerned with that performance. All out against Hibs and Dundee United last week. Miles off it.
Who creates, right, a premium horse racing tips account and actually pays for the verification?
A loser. Unless you've got really good tips.
Miles off it like his horses.
Messi fan, what a game. Really?
I wouldn't go that far, son.
Not Matondo Prop says, "Shocking second half performance. Lucky to get away with 3 points." FTK says, "Scraped." So that's King or something. Max keeps you in the race for second with Aberdeen.
Could be kids.
Oh. Jack Union, "Stop passing the ball back." Stuck says, "Good win, always difficult after a European Thursday night game." Was it really? Michael Beale, Tierney benched against Leon. I probably would bench him actually against Leon.
McCausland. Yeah, I've got it. Honestly, there's not many options but I'd bench him.
Alexander Lade said, "The team were disorganised. They urinated in their penalty area. They passed back more often than forward. If I was a gambler, I'd put money on Celtic to win every game against us. Why? We are individuals, not a team. Snail pace is the team at its best. They lack passion and pride." Personally, if I am a gambler, I'd be putting money on Celtic every game despite this performance. It didn't take today's performance for me to be like, you know what, I fancy Celtic to beat Rangers in the next game.
Yeah, and it pains me to admit it, but that's just the truth that we're dealing with.
Yep, Good there says a wee tricolour and an English badge there. Yeah,
that's a
blue.
That's a weird combination. That's a very weird combination.
Shane says Hibs should really have took a point out of that game. We are so bad. I agree. I thought Hibs deserved a point. Adenoid Hinkle says 2 good things. The win itself, it's important to win games where you didn't play well. 2, in between European games, it is more of an excuse for a mediocre performance. I mean, I get that, but it was very poor today. Nat Rat, awful hanging on at home against Hibs. Very lucky to get 3 points, which they were. Donald Sutherland says, "We have to give credit to Hibs who came out and gave it a go. Better than a team parking the bus. At least a game like that makes us work hard for the win and will help us moving into Europe. A good 3 points." Pire says 3 points, all that matters. Barron was outstanding. Clement making things hard for ourselves by taking off Raskin for Dowell. Massive mistake. Nearly cost us. For me, Dowell just not good enough.
I think he's just got a beef with Raskin though.
Possibly. Max Cool Sandon says, "Very bleak performance, but a real peach from Lawrence. It was a great strike for Lawrence, great goal for Lawrence." You know what? I don't really rate Tom Lawrence. I don't think overall he offers, great performances from start to finish. But there's no doubt he has got quality, and he showed in moments that he has scored some really good goals for Rangers.
He doesn't have the legs, right? But you need to utilise that. At the end of the day, you can't just keep playing. He played. That's him 85 minutes a day, and he played a lot against Malmo. Here, he scored the winner against Dundee United. He scored the winner of the day. Without that, where would Rangers be?
Yeah, Laney Blue says few. Robert Allen says 3 points, but need to stop hanging back when we score and go for that second goal. We are the people. Darren says job done. I think we'll end it here with Philball. Philball says the past few weeks we've been good. Today we were poor. Never got going at all. But we won. Kept a clean sheet. Draw a line under it and move on. Well, we blew heart. Now, I suppose that's all you can do at the end of the day. There's no point, crying over a bad performance. Maybe if you drop points, then yeah, keep crying over it. But if you get the win, maybe you're better off just to chalk it up, move on, and hope that you can perform better in the next one.
That's it. And Smell the Glove has accused you of being biased for the Rangers as usual. Closing thoughts on that?
I mean, honestly, I don't get it, man. I really don't. How am I being biased? I'm saying that I thought Tom Lawrence was going to be given offside. I'm saying that I think it's unfair that Hibernian ended up getting nothing because they missed their penalty. But, whatever. Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.